Hey everyone, it's Graz, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking all about the Celestial Pharaoh, which was announced yesterday. So this post is on Facebook. They also put out a post on Discord and things. If you want to join my Discord server, there is a link in the description below. I think you can also find my links for Facebook and things like that on there as well. I generally always share all these posts and things like that. In my Discord server, there is a link that we get the update straight from the developers' Discord. Anyway, so this is kind of a new thing, I think, for Zero City. They've been giving us a little bit more information a little bit earlier. Usually, this kind of post, we would only get like a day or two before the event, and it would say what time the event is going to start. But this is just like a general update of what is going to be happening in the next game update. So anyway, we are going to have a strategy event coming soon. I'll get onto Celestial Pharaoh in a second. There's a new Colossus, which is fine. There's a new weapon for Chemist, which is linked to Celestial Pharaoh, so we'll also talk about that. There's going to be a new thing called microprocessors, which I might be able to find an example of in Hustle Castle in a moment. And they talk about the My.Games shop, which I might discuss later as well. But anyway, so I'm making this video before anything else is shown in game, because the fact that they've told us there's a new weapon coming and there is a new Chemist set coming means that the new Chemist has that weapon type, and then we know what that weapon type is going to be. Just a really quick update here. I've just received artwork from the Zero City developers showing us what the Celestial Pharaoh set is actually going to look like. So here we have the male and female versions. They look pretty cool, I think. I think they look pretty good. And of course, right in the middle here, you can see the rocket launcher. I think this looks real nice. I don't know. It just fits very nicely. I think the color scheme is pretty cool. So I thought I'd share that and update the video. So this is my Hustle Castle account. I don't use it very often. I generally use it for this sort of thing I'm going to be doing now, where I'm trying to have a look and see what's coming up in the game next. As part of that, I also keep an eye on the Hustle Prime Discord server to get this kind of information. So Celestial Pharaoh is coming, and I think it's very, very important. Now, you could say that about a lot of things, because we've been getting a lot of new sets recently, and each one kind of seems more important than the last because it's new and it's new and it's new and it's new. But this one generally seems to do a really, really high amount of damage. So first things first, it's got a new weapon type. So in Hustle Castle, you don't need to worry about this too much, but it's a lantern. Okay, none of their mages, which are chemists to us, have had a lantern before. So for us, we're getting a rocket launcher. So what that's going to mean is obviously it's a new weapon, and it's going to be a new attachment. Okay, so we're going to have to get those before we can get the set. So here are the set abilities for the Knowledge Keeper, aka the Celestial Pharaoh. So for 2 items, once in a while creates a magic flash around the enemy warrior with the least current health, dealing 100,000 magic damage. The Knowledge Keeper restores health equal to 50% of the damage dealt by the ability. Now, so there's a couple of important things here. So for 2 items, where this says warrior, that's going to be infantry, okay? Because later on we can see 4 items there's warrior and mage, so infantry and chemist. 6 items is infantry, chemist, and ranger. So for 2 items, this is only going to target the infantry unit, a random infantry unit. It's going to do 100,000 chemical damage, and then it's going to restore its own health for 50% of that. I don't think that's too bad for 2 items. I think that might be the kind of thing you possibly could combine with, instead of, say, Phantom or Outcast with Peacekeeper. Just an example. Not necessarily something I would do, but I think it's possible. I think that's a reasonable thing. For 4 items, once in a while creates a magic flash around the enemy infantry and chemist with the least current health, consistently dealing 175,000 chem damage. I don't know what consistently dealing means here. To me, that suggests like it's an ongoing thing. In 2 parts, it doesn't say consistently, but 4 parts it does. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's going to be much difference there. Celestial Pharaoh restores health equal to 60% of the damage dealt by the ability. Every second, chem crystals fly out of all enemies with 50% or less current health and into 3 nearby enemies, dealing 250,000 chem damage. So that in itself is a very, very strong ability as well. So as soon as any unit's health is getting lower than 50%, they are essentially going to be a hindrance to your squad, right? You either want them above 50 or you probably kind of want them dead, because that's all enemies, right? So potentially you've got 8 people on your own team that can do damage to 3 people. I'm hoping to get a test set and then be able to test this and find out, but right, this section here, okay? So if we've got all enemies, magic crystals fly out of all enemies with 50% less health into 3 nearby enemies. So it doesn't say if that stacks or not, because potentially that could be all 8 enemies attacking 3 nearby enemies each. So that could be like a seriously high amount of damage done. I don't know if that's the case. It doesn't really explain it very well, but that's what it says. So for 6 items, now you can see this is considerably longer. So once in a while creates a magic flash around the infantry, chemist, and ranger with the least current health, consistently dealing 350,000 chem damage. That's really high. That's a lot. So that's 3 units taking 350,000 chem damage. The Celestial Pharaoh restores health equal to 75% of the damage dealt by the ability. Quick math in. So 700, just over a million, so like 750,000 healing, potentially. Depends on chem armor and things like that. But yeah, potentially like 750,000 healing would be pretty impressive as well. Every second, magic crystals fly out of all enemies with 50% or less current health and into 3 nearby enemies, dealing 400,000 magic damage to targets and the enemy from which the crystals flew out. So that's added an extra bit there now. So now everybody's taking damage and everybody's also taking more damage and a bit more damage. So that's this thing does tons and tons of damage. Once in a while, Celestial Pharaoh creates an energy dissonance zone in a small radius around a random enemy for 6 seconds. The target of the ability and all enemies in a small radius around it take magic damage equal to 15% of their max health every second. Okay, right, I need to read that a couple more times myself. So, once in a while, blah, blah, blah. Okay, energy dissonance zone in a small radius around a random enemy. So we're going to pick one enemy and a small area around them. So if it's your chem, this might affect other chems around it. If it's a ranger, depends how many rangers they got. Again, infantry, depends what they are on. The target of the ability and all enemies in a small radius around it take magic damage equal to 15% of their max health every second, while enemies stay in the energy zone. Okay, so this is more about a specific area on the battlefield versus a specific unit. So if the units move around, they can get out of it, okay? While enemies stay in the energy distance zone, they restore 60% less health, can't gain shields or damage reducing effects, and can't move, but still can use abilities. Okay, so they can't escape the area. So once they're in it, they're kind of trapped in there. They've got less healing, they can't try and do anything. That's pretty strong as well, right? It may not do as much damage, but you're kind of trapping them, keeping them there. Like if you trap somebody's infantry unit in there, they're not going to be able to come and get you, right? Am I reading that right? Yeah. Can't move, but can still use abilities. Okay. So, hopefully you kill this thing, right? Hopefully we kill this thing. On death, Knowledge Keeper fires crystals at all enemies. Crystals deal 700,000 chem damage. If a crystal kills an enemy, the Knowledge Keeper is resurrected with full health. That's crazy. So, you managed to kill this thing, but if when it dies it kills one of your units, it comes back to life again with full health, and you've got to try and do it all again. So, as I said, I haven't used this unit. I haven't been able to test it yet or review any battles of it, but this sounds crazy strong. Something which is very, very important at the moment is the way in which we can get this set. At the moment, we don't have any information on this, so this is purely speculation, but generally speaking, sets that are tunnel sets in Zero City are also tunnel sets in Hustle Castle. It's not always the case, but for example, Grim Undertaker and Caduceus are both tunnel sets in Hustle Castle. Knowledge Keeper here, we can open this up and we can have a look. So, Djembe is Railroad. Okay, so we'll be able to get the legendary material from Railroad. Theoretically, no guarantees. The epic material is purchased for Dark Souls in the Portal Store. Now, in Hustle Castle, there are Dark Souls and Very Dark Souls. So that's the difference between the silver tags and the gold tags. This is available in the much, much cheaper chest right at the bottom of the store. So it won't be endless grinding, okay? This blue material is for bosses in the dungeon, so that is bunkers. Yeah, we can get this for beating bosses in bunker. And this one is for battles in arena. Same thing, battles in arena. I hope that they maintain this and it's available just by playing the game, that you don't have to spend all weekend trying to open your crates and then not getting the stuff you wanted. But that remains to be seen, unfortunately. That's going to about do it for this video. I just want to finish up by saying that there's no giveaway attached to this video. Please leave your comments and questions that you may have and I will do my best to answer them. But don't submit game IDs because there's no giveaway attached to this video. The monthly contest, the Gleam contest, is still open. That is 1,000 crypto coins to 5 winners. The link for that will be put in the description below, so please access that while you can. I think that's running until the 25th of July, so you've got about a week left on that. Winners will be notified. I'll ask for your game IDs and send them to the devs and whatnot. But yeah, thanks for watching. My social channel links are in the description as well. Like I said, if you want to join my Discord server or follow me on Facebook, those sorts of things. And next video will be out in about a week or so, I guess. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.